Welcome back to another amazing episode of Destination Morocco podcast. In today's episode, we have Jill Smith. She has been to Morocco before. This is her second time, and she has a fascinating story. Jill, if you would please share your story with us and the audience. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Asdiam. Okay. I live in Horsham in West Sussex in the United Kingdom. We first went to Marrakech in October 2024, having been recommended by friends and having seen the amazing mosaics in Seville. Just wanted to have more of experience of the culture
Absolutely.
Of Morocco. So we booked 5 nights, I think it was, in Marrakech. And it was fabulous. Absolutely loved it.
Glad to hear that.
We managed to see a lot of the sights of Marrakech. And while we were there, we saw tours up into the mountains or into the desert, which kind of appealed. But I'm very much a person that if I'm somewhere, for the first time especially, I wanted to feel that I'd seen Marrakech properly without then taking time out to go and maybe take a trip that you don't actually get to see that much when you get there, and then you've got to come back and you've missed a day in Marrakech. So we kind of promised ourselves that we would come back to Morocco so that we could do the Atlas Mountains and the desert and maybe to the coast.
Yes.
At Essaouira. So that was the plan. And me being me, reached out to lots of different tour companies and
okay, hold on. So from the interruption, I wanna ask you that.
Yeah.
So okay, this is amazing. So the first time you really went to Marrakech, you fell in love with the city. You didn't want to travel in other places. You just want to immerse yourself in the city. Then plan ahead and come back for another tour. In that second tour, that's when you're gonna basically do a multi-day tour, if possible, go to the mountains, go to the desert, go into the coastal city of Essaouira. So walk me through that process and how did we meet along the way, please, Jill?
Okay. So I had 12 days of holiday leave left to take from work, which I booked for November with the express purpose of coming to Morocco. So, as I say, I was looking at tour operators, what there is to see, do, and getting myself in quite overwhelmed, really, because there's a lot of information out there. A lot of the tours that were being offered seemed to be in groups. So it seemed you would be spending a lot of time on a bus with 20 other people, getting to these amazing places, but I'm not that kind of traveller. And I also don't travel that well in a car by road. I do get travel sick.
Nice.
So it was becoming a little bit of a challenge for me. And then we found you.
I'm glad
online,
we did.
And you were offering a free call.
Yeah.
So we did it, and I think immediately there was a really good connection there. We felt, you're very warm, very genuine.
Thank you.
And obviously, Morocco a lot better than I do. And presumably, a lot of these tour operators who are working out of the UK, yes, they've been to Morocco, but they haven't really lived it. So that felt like a good fit, and immediately you came forward with a good kind of itinerary plan, suggestions of what we might see and do, including some real bucket list things that never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined we might do, like going on a hot air balloon.
Yes.
It was just incredible.
Thank you. Yes, I remember when we did the discovery call, I know that you had pages and pages of research. Oh my goodness, you have done such an amazing job in the research. And I know probably I don't, the length of time that it took you to gather all that information. And I totally agree with you, Jill, because when you're doing the research, you do find some good information, then some not so good information. And it's at some point, it really becomes kind of confusing. So I'm very grateful that you have chosen us to book your tour with us, and we created an itinerary for you that I really believe it was just incredible itinerary in Morocco. So what type of problem or problems did we solve for you when we met? What did we solve for you in terms of an issue or challenge or a problem that you were running into, Jill?
Well, as I say, I was feeling quite overwhelmed. And I think just talking to you, I just felt like I'd got a huge weight lifted off my shoulders.
Thank
And I
you.
could literally just hand it to you and you would deal with it.
Thank
And
you
that's
so
what you
much.
did.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we have never had that kind of experience before where we had our own private tour. We had our own driver. It was, yeah, incredible. And we felt very lucky and privileged to be able to do that. And imagining that kind of holiday would have cost an awful lot more. So I think when you gave us the price and the full list of what we were doing, what we were getting, it was like a no-brainer, really. It was.
Thank you.
We just had to do it.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really, really important. The reason, because a lot of people, when they look at the itinerary, they just look at the price, but they don't see what the true value is, and that is in the experiences. Because, whether in Marrakech or Fas or Merzouga or Chefchaouen or anywhere throughout your trip, there's a lot of things that are included. And we keep in mind the drive-in, not to do too much of it, and also not to book the whole day for you. We do the first half of the day, then, the second half and the nighttime, you can use it however you like. You can relax, you can do, a few things, maybe one or two more things. Then dinner, we can do, a dinner and a show somewhere and stuff like that. So, but I do appreciate the homework that they have done, because I felt that we were on the same page, working together. And sometimes one of the challenges that we find is when people get to that level of research, they don't want to let go of the rest. So you were a really good sport and said, hey, okay, you know what, take over, because that's what we really do. So I'm really, really grateful for that, because they gave us the opportunity and you showed your trust. So when we got to that level and said, hey, you know what, this is a responsibility, we came up with an initial itinerary, then we went back and forth with a few tweaks, and then it was finalized. Then after that, it was just perfect. So,
I seem to remember there weren't many tweaks. I think.
Yeah, not.
I think
not
we
too
got there
many.
quite quick because you listened to the the places that I wanted to go to, and you suggested some places that I didn't even know about that would be good to visit along the way. Yeah, so
Awesome.
it's worked.
Thank you. So when you went to Morocco, you said that Riyadh, and a lot of people, that's what we do recommend, but also we do tell them not all the Riyadhs are created equal. Some will have a good service, some will have mediocre service, and even the way that they are built, some they look really nice, and some they just look not so nice. And for having an itinerary like this, sometimes we don't really have a choice in a way that in some cities or some spots, the choices are really limited. But like in Marrakech, in Fas, obviously there's quite a bit of choices. So that's why sometimes when people go to certain Riyadhs, they have a really, really, really good experience, and versus other Riyadhs and say, hey, you know what? I was not really impressed. I liked the one in, for example, the desert, or I liked the one in Dads versus I liked the one in Marrakech or Fas and stuff like that. So was it the same case for you, Jill?
Exactly. Yes.
Tell us about it, please.
I think, well, our very first, as we arrived from the airport, so our first riad was in Marrakech. And having been to Marrakech the previous year, we kind of knew, how it looked. Because if you've not been, Marrakech, where in the Medina, it's it's unusual, as in the alleyways, they're so narrow and there's just doors off of it. You can't look in. You don't know what's there, but they're inside is the houses. It's very opposite to what we have here in England.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, when we first went to Marrakech the year before, I felt a little bit afraid, a bit scared, like wandering down these very narrow little passageways.
Yeah.
So when we first arrived to this year, again, it was this journey of like, where are we going? Because it's down a little alleyway, and then you turn right, another little narrow way, alleyway. And on that particular day, I mean, it was hot. We'd had an okay flight, but obviously we were quite tired. And then the driver, where he dropped us off, we had then to walk to the square, but we needed to transfer some money. And that was quite stressful. And we were left with the kind of porter guy who was carrying our bags. Eventually, we managed to get the money. Gary's on crutches because he'd had a knee operation. Hot, tired, arrived at the riad and went into the entrance where the desk is to be met by the receptionist lady who was very formal, very businesslike, and just handed us some, have you got your passports? Yes. Handed us some forms and a pen and said, can you fill this in? Well, Gary's sweating profusely, in a lot of pain.
I can imagine.
And didn't offer us a seat. Now that, I just thought, this isn't the Marrakech that I know. Or this isn't what I was expecting. So previously, when we'd arrived at the hotel, we was sat down with a nice, glass of mint tea, and the forms are brought over, and we do it sitting down. Wonderful. Anyway, so we suffered that, and then was taken to our room, but all in a very just kind of cursory fashion. It wasn't like, this is your room. Oh, and if you'd like to go up to the terrace, or I can show you.
The swimming pool.
There. I just feel you. And this is where you'll have your breakfast. None of that. It was just, here's your room.
It was very dry.
Very dry.
Yeah.
So that was a bit disappointing. The room was lovely. It was fine. No problem. So I felt a little disappointed. We went out for dinner and drinks. And then the next morning we came down for breakfast. And again, I was just so disappointed because the breakfast was just awful. Maybe it is traditional Moroccan, but I'm not a Moroccan, and it was just so heavy and dry, everything. Apart from the little yogurt and fruit, that was fine. So that didn't get me off to a good start either. So
yes, I do remember.
I contacted you because...
Absolutely, yes. And I really, really appreciated it. Yeah.
Well, it's your business, isn't it? If you're
absolutely.
People into these places, you want to know that they're getting good service.
100%. It's I was disappointed as well. Then when we contacted the management and we talked to the front desk, and her story was different. But then when you came back, because you had to spend more time in Marrakech, and we needed to make sure that if breakfast is not to your standard, we can with no additional cost to you, we can just take you outside and you have breakfast somewhere else. So now when we mentioned and talked to the management about everything that you have told us about the experience and the disappointment, was there a change in terms of the hospitality, the way they have treated you, or was it still the same?
Sadly, so when we came back, the guy in Marrakech, who organises the tours, I think, with you, for you, he met us, which was wonderful, and he took us to the riad and spoke to the receptionist and tea, and then they did offer us tea. But I'd already said, we were quite tired. So the lady said, oh, well, they're tired, so let's, they can have it in their room. Well, okay. I mean, I could have sat down. It's fine. So we had tea in the room. And when she brought it up, I think your tour manager had said, it is going to apologise and bring you tea. And literally, the apology, it was putting the tea down, and she just kind of went, "Sorry, here's your tea." And she went, and I was like, "Was that the apology?"
Oh my goodness.
So it's definitely needs some improvement on customer service skills there and interpersonal skills. But it was fine. And I have to say, I think the next morning we did the hot air balloon and we got breakfast out, which was amazing. That was an amazing experience. I'd highly recommend that. But we'll do that again. But then the very last morning at the Riyadh Canipolis, the breakfast was better.
I'm glad to hear that.
Was. So someone had obviously, they had listened, yes, and followed that. Yes. But apart from there, I mean, all the other hotels and places were good, different, as you say.
Yeah.
I mean, the next hotel was actually a big hotel. It was in Ouarzazate.
Yes.
Aram Palace.
Yes.
Because I think when we first spoke to you, I'd expressed how much Gary and I like to swim. So I think you worked very hard to give us an opportunity whenever it was possible. So we enjoyed the pool, but the downside with a large hotel like that is their restaurant is a international buffet, which isn't my bag. It's like, I'm in Morocco, I want to be served
Moroccan.
Moroccan food. And also the other thing I would say is, because we were traveling and we'd visited Beit Hadu.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, you're right. Beit Hadu, yes.
Beit Hadu. And Abdu, our driver, had organised lunch for us. And of course, which again, because we were new to it all, we hadn't quite appreciated what was kind of on offer. And it was kind of like a 3-course, like a set lunch, which was meat.
Yes.
You have a lot of meat in Morocco. So we'd kind of done this at lunchtime, and that was fine. But then in the evening at the buffet, it was just all the same. It was more of the same, which I really kind of struggle with that, because I was like, I like to choose what I want to eat from a menu.
Yes. I totally hear it.
So that was the only issue with that hotel, but that's just probably just my personal choice. And then the following night was
Dad's Valley.
Mum and Daddy's. Oh, that was one of our highlights. So Abdullah and Suleiman, who run it, they're two brothers.
Yes.
And you can just show they have a real heart for it. They just love having guests, and they were just so, they were just so kind, warm. So again, when we went in, we were offered the tea. We sat, there was absolutely no rush at all. And then we were shown to the room, and they actually asked what we'd had for lunch, because they were going to be preparing dinner and they didn't want to serve us the same thing.
That's very nice.
Yes. So considerate, so kind.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, the food is very popular in Morocco, and it's really good, and it's very diverse. And that's sometimes the challenge when you go to the southern part of Morocco, is unfortunately you have to eat where you stay in, because there's not really a lot of options out there to dine. And you're right, the Riyadh in that valley, we always get a lot of really, really good feedback. And right after you, I stayed there, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I met the gentleman, we work with them, and the stuff is amazing. I mean, the
real family,
family-run
thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. It really, and it really shows. And in regards to the person that Riyadh you stayed in Marrakech, we have always had really, really, really good experiences with them. But unfortunately, the person at the front desk, the one that we work with, left. So the other person, she's not. I don't want to sound the wrong way, but sometimes if you're not Moroccan, you don't have that hospitality. It's within you. Respectfully to everybody. It's just that's how I felt, because I talked to them, and that's what I sensed. I'm very grateful because you shared it with me the moment it happened, But I also wanted to talk about it because it is very important, and it is very important for a lot of listeners to know, hey, sometimes we do a good job, sometimes we fall short. But what we'll do is we will back you up, we'll support you 100%, and we'll do whatever it takes to correct the mistake or the issue or the challenge. But because of you, we stopped it from happening to our guests. And this is what the podcast, we tell the truth. We don't hide anything. We don't shy away from it. There's a challenge. We walk right towards it and we take care of it. And I know that you had an amazing, amazing tour, but every tour, they will have a little bit of hiccups. And for this one, this was the hiccup, which is the Riyadh in Marrakech. And I'm very glad that you talked about it and you didn't want to not mention it at all, because it is part of the experience. And at the end of the day, what do you leave? You leave with a lot of really, really good memories. And you've heard the stories from the travelers here at the podcast. You felt the rhythm of the Medina through your headphones. And now I want to personally welcome you into the fray. I am hosting an exclusive small group Imperial Cities tour for just 12 of our listeners. 8 days of deep culture, hidden gems, and the Morocco I know by heart. This isn't just a tour, it is a seat at our table. Space is very limited, so visit destinationsmorocco.com and book your spot today. What else can you share with us in terms of, I know you're a big foodie, yeah?
Yeah, I love food. And I like cooking, yeah.
Yes. What else can you share with us in terms of food, please, during your trip with Gary in Morocco?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, two things. Like Gary said, we did the cooking day.
Yes. How was it?
The Chef Tarak. That was really cool. That was really good. And again, something that maybe if we'd just been organising our own itinerary, probably wouldn't have booked.
Yes.
Because Gary would have gone, oh, I'm not bothered. Yeah, anyway, but it was great. It was one of our highlights. And what was lovely was we were in little groups of like 5 or so in teams. It was meant to kind of devised as competition, but nobody really competing. It was just, But yeah, we were on a team with some American ladies.
Yeah, nice.
And they were just really good fun. We had a good time.
And also the cooking class, was it done in a farm?
It was done. They'd got this new premises. Yes, it was a beautiful farm, lovely setting. They grew all their own, fruits and vegetables. And
everything is organic. Yeah.
Really beautiful. It was,
Thank you.
It's good.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that was part of it. But I would say, yes, food, apart from that, probably my favourite in-house meal was at the Dada's Luxury.
Yes.
Yeah, in where am I now? Is that the Balmain Dada's?
Yeah, Boumaldas, yes.
That was a lovely hotel. Lots of steps, I have to say.
Yes,
I don't know if you've been there. Wow.
Well, it's so funny. That one actually has less steps than a lot of other Riyadhs.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just went up and up and up and up.
Yeah, I mean those steps, and I just looked at them. I was like, am I in the pyramids? It looks really, really high.
Yeah, but what I loved was, the dinner that evening that we stayed there was one of my best experiences. Gary was not so, because it was kind of quite nouvelle cuisine. I see. It's not a bit too small.
Yeah, the portions, yes, yeah.
But I loved it. The taste and everything. I thought it was really, really good. I really enjoyed that.
I remember as well. It is still Moroccan cuisine, but it's done in a way that it's more of a presentation than just mixing up vegetables and meat and stuff.
Yes. I am a visual person, so I think it does make a difference to me.
Yes.
How things are presented and what it looks like.
I remember that the portions were small, but they have really good variety. The salad, the fruits, the tea, and then the coffee. It's just incredible. Yes.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I really enjoyed that. And when we got to the desert camp, that was an amazing experience.
Thank you.
Obviously. So dinner there, obviously very traditional Moroccan, particularly the second night when we were in the Riyadh, in the hotel.
Yeah.
I think there was there was literally only Gary and I and another family
Oh, wow.
staying.
Oh,
It
wow.
was really quiet.
Yeah.
In this huge dining room.
Yes, I remember it, yes.
And they brought us this enormous plate of food with lots of meat on. I mean, yeah. I mean, they really did take good care of us. I think they really worked hard. And that's something else to talk about, I guess. But while we were there, because we'd been on a long journey to get there, a lot of driving to the desert. We did our camel ride the first night.
That's what I was
which
going to
amazing.
ask you, yes.
That was incredible. And saw the sunset. Yeah, it was just beautiful. And then the next day, that night, yes, so after dinner, they said, the manager wants to talk to you. Hopefully. And they said, tomorrow we've got a car organised for you and we're going to take you around Merzouga and you can see the fossils and you can see the carpets and you can see... And I said, no, thank you. Thanks, but no, thank you. I just want a day where I can relax and do nothing and I don't have to get a car. And we had the best day.
I'm so
just
glad to
Gary
hear
and
that.
I
Absolutely.
at the hotel. We had the pool to ourselves.
Yeah, I remember the Riyadh. The Riyadh, by the way, for the listeners, it's really close. It is a walking distance from the camp.
In the camp, yes.
Yeah, so in some cases they are not. It's a little bit of a drop, but this one, the car will pick you up and will drop you off right away. And then the nice thing about the pool is really, really the view.
Yeah.
Just the vast open of the desert dune and then the sun, then the changing in the colors of the sun. It's just magnificent. Then the sunset again it's really, really beautiful. So was that the same way for you, Jill?
Absolutely, yes. It was. Yeah, the other nice thing was because after breakfast they came and said, so for lunch, because it was only us.
I remember, yes.
What did we for lunch? And I was like, do you know what? We really don't need lunch. We're having so much food. The breakfast is big and the dinners are big. And at home, I tend not to eat breakfast and have a small lunch. Yeah. Or I will have a light breakfast, but only a light lunch. So it was just like that. There's just too much food. So we said, really not lunch, because they were offering us meat to get. So they said, what would you like? And I said, well, just something simple. Like we got yogurt and banana and some fruit and nuts and olives and... and it was just perfect. It was something to nibble while we were just relaxing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was lovely. And then that was complimentary. They just said, that's all, that's all complimentary for you. That's very nice, thank you. So so that was really. But I have to say, on the food front, I love Marrakech.
Yeah.
Because because it's more cosmopolitan, international. So we love, I know I said this to you before and you weren't very happy, but we love Lebanese food.
Absolutely. I think there are a few places in Marrakech,
Very good.
Yeah.
So we really enjoyed those. And the pizzas, my goodness, they are the best pizzas.
Thank you.
We went to Cafe Arab, which doesn't sound like they'd be doing pizzas, but they do, and they're absolutely amazing. And have you been to Cafe Arab?
No, I haven't.
The interior is just stunning. That's the other thing I love about Morocco is the interiors, the decor. It's just beautiful. They have such a good eye for beautiful things.
Thank you. It is. It's part of different dynasties and different.
Sorry, just to change subject again. That gets me in trouble because I really enjoy beautiful things, seeing things. So when you're in the markets or the suits, be very careful. The minute that I kind of showed any interest or in anything,
I know what's coming.
And then the owner, they want you to buy it. And I'm like, just because I like something doesn't mean I want to have it. It won't go in my house. but it's beautiful. I
Yeah.
just want to say how
Yeah.
beautiful it is. So,
No, it's funny because it happens, even when I go, I don't look like a local to them. And,
no.
those vendors, they're super smart. They look at you and they say, you're not from Europe. You live somewhere else, maybe in Canada. I swear to you, Jim. And
Wow.
this is what it happened to me in the past. And I said, why? What makes you say that? He said, you're too polite.
Yes.
So, but the thing is, when you're passing by, even when you're looking with your eyes and you don't say anything, they'll speak to you in 3, 4, 5, 6 different languages. They just
Yep.
want you to respond. And the moment you respond with any language, they got you.
Yeah. They're
It's probably
really,
that helpful.
really, really sharp, yes, at engaging with you and pulling you in, even though I know what they're doing. And you're like, oh, I can't help myself. I don't know if that's being British. We're just so
Yes.
polite. You kind of don't want to upset them, but then you just get further, you end up in the shop and then it's really hard to leave
Yeah.
without buying anything.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Last time when I went, which is right after you left Marrakech, I was in Marrakech. And one thing that really stood out for me, because I got to spend more time in Marrakech with the family, of course, but the square, I felt like I was addicted to the square. I had to go to the square almost every night, because it looked different. It's so happening. It's so busy. And then the shops, it looked different than the year before in terms of what did they have, what's trending, and the decorations and things that they are selling. So every night, it's just like, wow, it's just like going to a show in a way. Was it that way for you, Jill and Gary?
Yes, very busy. Gary doesn't really do busy places and lots of people, so that was quite challenging for him. But yeah, I enjoy, trying to wander through. But of course, again, you get caught. Especially when you're in the little restaurant alley and, come and eat, we've eaten, thank you. It's like, yeah. Yes, I think that hustle is quite challenging if you're not used to it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The audience, they still have that little bit of a fear of, hey, I'm going to a Muslim country, I'm traveling to Africa, and it's just, hey, it's dangerous, I'm a solo female traveler, safety concern. Did you feel unsafe? I mean, sometimes, you have that feel like uncomfortable, a little bit unsafe, but did you ever feel like, oh, I should have not made this trip? How was the experience?
No. So going back to 2020, our first trip, so prior to that, I got myself quite nervous, about things because of the state of the world. And
Yes.
And I was like, are we going to be safe? Is it going to be a safety trip? And then talking to people saying, oh, I'm going to Marrakech. I'd be talking to people about, oh, I went there, but like 20 years ago. Oh, you need to make sure, keep everything close to you. The pickpocket, they'll be after this, after that. And I was like, oh my goodness, this holiday is just going to be real trauma. Are we going to be safe? And as soon as we got there, I just felt so safe. Marrakech is amazing, and
Thank you.
so the people are just so warm and friendly, and apart from obviously in the market where we do get those hustlers, but they are nice people. You can tell they're just trying to make money. They just want to put food on the table, but it's just so British. It's like we're doing things. But no, we just felt very safe. Yeah,
Thank you.
Just loved it, and I think that's why I had such a huge, warm, enthusiastic response to it. That I was like, this is fabulous, and I want to come back and do more because felt so safe, so welcoming, and from the UK, it's so easy.
Yeah, 100%.
It's 4 hours flight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm in Africa. So the culture's so different. So, you're going to Europe, similar time, or Greece or something, but it's kind of not as different.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. But also Morocco, because of the location, there's an African influence, there's a Middle Eastern influence, there's obviously Spanish and French. and European influence. So it's a really, really combination of a lot of cultures. So
It is. And we haven't mentioned the weather.
yes, the weather, yes.
You can go away in November when it's sunny and it's warm. That was, amazing. And it was funny, as in all the Moroccans had their jumpers and coats on, going, it's chilly. It's not chilly. We're there in our T-shirts, basking in the sun.
What else stood out for you during your trip in Morocco? Jill, please.
We really enjoyed. This is one that it hadn't kind of been put on any itinerary anywhere, but it had been recommended to me. The Museum of Photography in Marrakech.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That was one of the best days of visiting that. It was so amazing, beautiful photographs. But there's a video that was, I think, film in the, I think it was was it 1970s? 70s, of this documentary maker who went and lived with the Berber tribe, and he filmed it, and we just sat and watched the whole thing. I was absolutely mesmerised. So having been out and seen them in the mountains and in the desert, to actually come back and then see that film,
it's incredible.
It was very moving, and
really. It's so funny you mentioned that, because this is one of the trends that we really paid attention to in 2025. For all the itineraries, all the travelers, that was the number one experience that they want, is the Berber experience. And we're very lucky, very fortunate to be able to accomplish that and have it. I remember Rochelle and her husband from New Zealand, where we took them. They were in the north side. We left fast, and we stopped at a city. But in that city, there's a family that lives in the cave, and that was the highlight of her tour. A Berber family, 29th generation, if you can just imagine how long they've been there, living in a cave. And when you go in, it takes you back in time. You're just like, am I in 2025 or am I in 1825? It's fascinating. So we're getting really close to the end of this episode, Jill. Any question that I should have asked you and have not asked you yet? Or Gary, because even though I don't see Gary, but I hear you. So
don't say anything.
Hey, Gary. Oh, good to see you. Amazing. How are you feeling, Gary?
Brilliant.
I did write some things down. Just watch your itinerary and don't overfill it.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one.
Definitely allow some days just to relax, because it's quite the high sensory experience in Morocco. There's a lot to see, do.
Yeah.
And you do need to take some time to rest, especially because a lot of our time was spent
driving. Yes, that's right.
Driving, which in hindsight, if we did it again, I would certainly like to have had a longer time so that there could have been more rest stops. Yeah, but having said that, I mean, obviously we got time in Marrakech, which was great just to relax. And we spent an afternoon just chilling at Les Jardins de Medina.
Yes,
that was a little treat.
Thank you.
That I'd seen from the previous year, and we hadn't been able to book that, so that was a treat.
Absolutely. That's a really, really good advice. And also, just to add what you have said, Jill, Morocco on the map doesn't look really that big, but it really is.
Oh,
it really is. So when it comes to driving, I agree with you, but the way that I really see it, if you have an itinerary that it's more than 8 days, just have like a day off on the 9th day. If your itinerary is 10 days or something, you have to have a day off, complete day off within that itinerary. Because if you don't, as the tour gets closer to finish, you do get tired. Then immersing yourself, or the immersive experience really changes, because you're tired. You're not going to fully enjoy it or fully into things that you're going to be doing. So that's what I always tell a lot of the guests. Yes, you want to see all these things, but you still have to give yourself a day off, because trust me, you're going to need it.
Yes, absolutely.
So any advice or suggestions for people that are thinking about visiting Morocco, whether a solo female traveler or a family or a couple, they're thinking about going to Morocco, but they still hesitant, they still have doubts. Oh, it's a Muslim country. It's in Africa, especially Africa. Oh, it's the culture is different and all that stuff. What advice would you give them, Jill, please?
So go and talk to Asdian. Then you don't need to worry. I was in that place, the same, total overwhelm, and I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know that it was going to be viable in the time that we had, and I was, just getting more and more kind of overwhelmed and confused. So the fact that you just took it all on board was amazing.
Thank you. I always tell a lot of the travelers, they say, I've been to Jordan, I've been to Egypt, I've been to India. And I say, you're right. You have been to all those places. They're amazing, but you have not been to Morocco. It's a little different. You may think they are similar, but they are a little bit different. It can get really overwhelming. Putting something like this together, you can manage some of it, but then the desert part, the southern part of Morocco, that's going to be a major challenge. So, Jill, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and Gary, that you have chose to go to Morocco and plan everything for you.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. Again, Jill, Gary, we really appreciate it. Your feedback is super important to us. And I'm very grateful again because you were very open and you did not hide anything and you did not sugarcoat anything. And that's really crucial. So thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have an amazing day. Are you looking for a personalized Moroccan experience? Merhaba, and welcome to Destinations Morocco. I am your host, Azadine El Mustaki. Our family-run company crafts private and small group tours to my beautiful homeland. We encourage you to choose your own adventure. Let us know what you would like to see, what you would like to do, and how you would like to experience it. We put together a tour based on your interests and priorities. The podcast is here to help you find ideas and inspirations. Let us plan your perfect Moroccan tour. Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call today at destinationsmorocco.com.